How do you build the ultimate party getaway for a family in The Sims 4? Well, sit back and let me show you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. You're watching Just a Mom That Sims. I'm KT, and I'm here today for another Sims 4 getaway speed build. So, if you like to have fun and you like a good story, please consider liking, subscribing, following, commenting. Just do all the things. Guys, I am laughing because I'm already showing out, but let me give my normal disclaimer. I do not edit my voiceovers when I do speed builds or cast creations. So today I'm going to talk about what I'm building and probably ramble some too. So what I am building is a getaway, and I think the last one I built was live. It was a romance one, but this is the ultimate place to go if you want to have a party for your family. So that could be a birthday party, or it could be a dinner party, or a potluck party. Even you want to go and celebrate your anniversary by throwing a party, this is going to be the place to go. So you can see me sectioning off rooms, and the way that I build is I do the outside decorations after I outline the rooms, and then I come back and do the inside. I'm actually going to show myself furnishing 98% of this build, and that is something I don't normally do. So I am doing the roof, and I really kind of struggled with what to do, and you see that I've got this kind of uneven pieces, and I immediately realized that this roof isn't going to work. But the same roof that I use on top, I'm putting on the back and on the front. But what I'm going to do is flip it around the other way so that I have an outcropping that hangs out, because I know that I want to put columns out front. So this is another build where you just got to trust my process, because it doesn't look like much in the beginning. You can see I got a little odd shaped square hanging out in the back, and you can see I've got squares hanging out on the side. So this is not a perfect rectangular build. That square in the back is going to be bedrooms. Now I do want to match the area. I am building in Magnolia Promenade. I did demolish one of those stores that I never go in, or hardly ever go in. I do use them sometimes, but maybe I use one at a time. So I do want to have some kind of brick, because I'm looking at the buildings around, and they are predominantly brick. So if you look at mine, I did pick a swatch that has a brick at the bottom, but at the top I want a completely different color, and I actually think this kind of flows. Now you see me trying roof colors. I'm trying to match like the roof next door, because if I don't struggle enough putting roofs on, then I struggle picking the color of them. So if I just match next door, that'll work. Now what I am going to do is go ahead and put some siding on. But guys, I want to have at least 2 giant rooms inside, and you saw me section them out, and one's going to be a kids party room, and the other big room is going to be an adults party room. So what we're going to have is a bathroom on the left hand side. So we've really got that, and I'm going to section off some really tight walls to put more in. Now you can see I put these columns in, and also I am not limiting myself. I'm using whatever packs I want to use, just whatever I think looks good. Now I do know that I want to put a door on the back of the building too, but I am going to put one where you can access through the building, through the kitchen, and get to the sleeping quarters, but also you can get there from the outside too. I don't like to have just one exit on my sim builds. So we talked about that before, but let's go back, because now I want to do windows, and I actually think that these windows from Seasons, it's not Seasons, it's Snowy Escape, I think they actually look perfect here, and I'm going to be able to be happy with symmetrical windows this time, which y'all know makes me happy. Now, I really struggle looking for windows to put up top, because there are some windows that I just could not find. The ones I picked were either too wide or too small, but I do eventually find some windows that I like. I am going with these dark brown swatches, and I'm just going to evenly space those out. I wanted to put some on the back, but I realized quickly quickly that I needed some really narrow windows. Now, I did spend at least 2 hours building this without having BB dot move objects on. And when I realized it, I turned it on because I eventually got to a point where I needed it. But back to it, now I'm going to do my wallpapers on the inside before I decorate. The kids' room is on the right hand side. Their wallpaper was easy to pick out. It's bright, it's colorful. Now on the left hand side is going to be the adult room, and the yellow, gray, and black is perfect. But once I picked this, I had to go back up front and change my colors. And immediately I kind of knew I wanted to do a gray or a black. And I settled for this black and white wallpaper that came with universities. Now in the back, I also had a hard time because where you see that little twin cot, this is going to be where the beds for this getaway is. I also thought about building this as a businesses and hobbies build. In case you don't know, I've been building businesses so that you don't have to. In my game, I am putting random townies over the business that I build so that my Sims can actually just go and visit different businesses, and what I'm doing is just not making any of them retail so they don't have to restock, but I am doing all kind of services and events. So I did briefly think about doing this as a businesses and hobbies bill, and I could have put a kiosk out front. And then I thought, no, let's make it a getaway. You come here, you throw a birthday party. The adults might have a drink because I know right away that I'm going to put a bar in here, and then you could just all come in here and go to sleep. Now, the downside is you might have a spot to sleep with your whole family, but it may be other people because I only have the one giant open room I'm going to line it with bunk beds, guys, and I'm going to fit 8 bunk beds in here. Now, it took me later in the build to come back and put one toddler bed in between the one I'm putting up now, the bunk beds, and I actually was able to keep 8 bunk beds and one toddler bed in this room. I started to try to fit a crib, but then I said, no, if they are bringing an infant, then they could just buy one of those mobile playpens, and that's what we'll do. Now, at first, I put these in tables or dressers, side dressers, nightstands. We call them nightstands in the room. Now, I did keep them both, but I ended up moving one to fit the taller bed. Now, I'm placing rugs down. Now, that last rug you saw me put down, that's that update that came that was inspired by some area of Africa, but I really like that little rug. But I think this combo of rugs is nice. I did put a thermostat in as well because I'm building in Magnolia Promenade, and even though I don't go there a lot, I do remember coming there a lot when I'm playing people with home shelf hustle tables, and I think it snows there, so it gets really cold, and I think it can get pretty hot. So we'll have central heating and air. Now, I turned all the beds brown, and it's a stark contrast to how chic the front looks, but that's the point of the building. It's supposed to look different in every room. So if you look at the adult room, which now is on the right hand side, but okay, it should be back in spot, but we'll go back to it. But if you look at that adult room with the yellow, gray, and black, it looks very modern, very chic, while the kids room looks a bit chaotic. And I wanted to because kids should be able to have some good chaos in their lives. And also, I'm gonna put tables in each room because I want them to be able to come and sit down, put a birthday cake down, blow out the candles, and that means I'm gonna have to have a full kitchen. Guys, I really struggle with this because I did a kitchen setup, and you're gonna see me put a microwave in. I did not want to put a stove because if you know my channel, you know that my Sims have the worst fires ever, and I'm not even exaggerating. Check out my This Is Normal Right clips, and you'll find plenty of them. And the fires I have burned for 15, 20, 25 real life minutes, not sim time. So anyway, I'm putting a void critter station down, and another thing is I'm setting this as a custom venue. I will talk later about the lot trace I put, but if you upload a custom venue to the gallery, you can do it just as the build, but I have been putting in schedules because I think it takes me quite a while to set a schedule from scratch. And I think I called it Party Center something. But anyway, when you download the lot and my gallery ID is at justamomthatsims, then you will download I think it downloads the preset too. So yeah, I am gonna do a preset because that's how I think it works. I have downloaded one, but it was one that Max's built and it did have a preset in it, I do believe. But either way, I did create a preset and I am going to apply it before I upload the bill. Now, I put this bar in here because I thought it was a nice addition. But later, as I'm sitting here putting decorations up, I'm like, you got a table and a bar. If it's an adult party room, we should be able to do some partying. So I'm going to go back. I'm moving the bar out to the kitchen, knowing now that I might have to get a smaller bar, but I'm putting a card table in here. But this is actually a multi-purpose game table, and in the game, this one comes with the Grow Together pack, but you can do the symbols game, you can do cards, or you can do puzzles on that game. Then there's another table where you can do Don't Wake the Llama and some other stuff on it as well. So yeah, you have tables that only do one game, but this is a multi-purpose one. Now I did put the woohoo game I call it, but I think it's called Thumbs Up or Who's Up or something. But that comes from the Sims 4 Love Struck pack. I put that on one end of the table, just some adult fun. Now kids can play Thumbs Up as well, but only the adults can play woohoo, and that's what I want to happen over there. Now I'm putting some like off-white grayish color counters, and the tops are like a light faded black to match the refrigerator. And you see that I finally got that microwave, but I did decide to put an ice cream maker. A few months ago I did get Cool Kitchen stuff. Y'all know I had a lot of packs and a lot I didn't, but I have bought several packs lately. So let me take this time to thank my Patreon members and my YouTube members, and also any of you who've ever given super chats. I'm just taking that money and kind of reinvest it into my game because y'all, I love simming, and I don't need to use my imagination for everything. But y'all, I'm old school and I'm used to, like, I grew up using imagination. So if I don't have it in my game, I just tell it in the story and pretend like we had it. So now you can see me doing the bathroom. I got two towel, three sections of wall, and that's because I'm putting lights and toilets, so that'll give your Sims three toilets and those will be functional. Now y'all, this is where I'm not gonna lie to you because I didn't play test this part, but I built two showers. I was gonna do one area for shower with two showers in it and realized that if the Sims use it, they may use it like how you do it at the sauna in the game, but I wanted them to have privacy. So you see, I got two real funny shaped areas, and those are two separated showers. So hopefully it works. I feel like it will, but what does that mean? So let's go to lot trace. I did put it as a party lot, which means if you host events here, they will be more successful. And I don't know if that will even matter so much for the getaway. I did make it a sunny lot, and I did make it a lot where kids learn fast. Now, I did that because when I set up the roles, I know, in fact, that I'm going to have the kids like skill build because that'll get their fun up, and it's a dual purpose. You got skills, you got fun. Now, I'm looking for a small bar. I saw the one from Love Struck, but sometimes the color just doesn't match everything. So what I did was filter by events. We got a one tile bar or two tile bar. And the one of those events that we had recently, like this year anyway. Now I made a conscious choice, y'all, to put the blow up chairs. They came from the I'm calling it Back to the Future, y'all. That was not the name of that event, but we had the time traveling and we went back and we got stuff that we had in like Sims 1 and Sims 2, including like telephones. The blow up chairs and the blow up couch come from that. Now I'm gonna put this table out and put a TV up, and I put the GameCube. The GameCube also came from an event. That little heart statue I put down comes from the Adventure Awaits pack. I love that pack, by the way. And you see that I put these little toys outside the kids' room, and that's because they're not functional toys at all. Those toys are just for viewing. But what I'm trying to symbolize is that, hey, when you get to this spot in this black and white room, if you keep going through the door, you're going to hit a bright, colorful kids area. Now, I did just get cats and dogs that I really never wanted, but I really wanted Brindleton Bay. But now that I'm thinking, if I'm having a party for the family, what if they do have pets? So I do want to make it where if you bring your pet, you have a feeder, you have a scratch and post if it's a cat, and a thing they can lay on if it's a cat. And you also are going to have a litter box. And I just put down a bed for like the dogs to sleep on. And I put one of the doggy toy boxes. I also put three random toys on the floor, but the Sims will put them in a box. Now you can also see that I put a small doggy door in that area, so that actually makes three exits. And that's kind of like a pro tip too. Even though I just got pets, I do know that the toddlers can use the pet doors, so yeah, that's kind of cool. Also, I'm gonna go back into the adult party room and put rugs down because y'all, I just really wanted to be kind of warm and comfy, even though it's kind of got like an industrial look on the outside. Now, something I hardly ever do is I'm gonna take my terrain tool and fill in a brick looking look all the way around and cover all the grass. Now, I use my terrain tool all the time and my paint tool, but I rarely cover everything. You can see that I use Control F to put like a offset color brick or stone out front. Now we're gonna do our walkthrough, but y'all know I love to start with a panorama. And if you look at my panorama, look at that view in Magnolia Promenade. I never noticed that view there. It's really giving tropical meets something like Louisiana, New Orleans type deal. So let's walk in. You can see the kitchen area. I did not put another counter there because I didn't want to block the way to the bar. You can see our little pets area, and I didn't put a whole lot of decoration on the wall, but I did put some. Now you can see our living room. That rug, guys, comes from the new Sims collaboration kit with Brazen Lotus called Garden to Table. I really like that rug. I didn't put it in the showcase. It was in there, but I didn't talk about it. Okay, this is the bathroom. So if you look, I got two sinks on counters and a nice big mirror that the Sims can look in. And you can kind of see through those doors, but that's one toilet, and the next two doors are toilets, so we won't go in. Now this door is a shower. Now the other door is too, but it got inverted out, so you know it does that when I'm in cinematic camera sometimes. Let's go out of the bathroom and let's go to our left, and we're gonna go into the first room we see, which is our adult party room. And when you walk in, you really, to me, I get a good vibe. And so you see we got a keg in here, we got the card table, you can play woohoo, and we got a soccer ball in the corner. I started to put it in the quarters, but I just said let's put it here. Now let's go back out, and we're gonna go all the way across because we now want to go to the kids party room. And you can see this like a kid's heaven. You got a scientific table, you got void critters where you can battle them, you've got the painting creativity table and a tree house doll house, and we've got that event doll that you can talk to and stuff in the corner. Now we're gonna come out and we're gonna walk all the way around. You can see our ice cream maker and microwave here. We're gonna go into our bunk area. Now you can see we got the 8 beds, and you see how I put the toddler bed. I think they can get in, but if you download and they can't, just move it up one tile. There's plenty of space. And I put the military workout machine. Let's go out of our back door and admire our view one more time. I really hope that you enjoyed this getaway build, and until next time, remember, keep simming, be happy, and always have a blessed day. Bye bye.